Hey everyone, it's Ten Types, and today we're taking a look at the Stellar Crown decks and the metagame. It looks a little bit like this, just going to be taking a look mostly at new decks, but we have Charizard Pidgeot, Dragapult Pidgeot as the top two decks in the game based on plays. They're both really good. And then we have Regimal Ogerpon, which is, I don't think it's that good, but it's still, I think it's okay. You do have some new cards you can put in it, but you don't have to. You can go with the same old Ogerpon, or you could play new cards, which, let's see if I can find somewhere here. Here we go. This list plays the new Noctowl engine, as well as Area Zero Underdepths and a copy of Glass Trumpet, Crispin, Briere. Briere is kind of glitched, but whatever. It works okay. It's actually a little stronger in Dragapult, or at least it was. It might have been fixed. I honestly haven't noticed. Even before, when I knew it was glitched, I had never gotten attack. Like I've never seen anyone use the glitch, and I've never seen it actually happen. But anyways, that is a thing. But then we have Gardevoir here. We have Palkia. This is a semi-new deck with the Noctowl engine to get your trainers. You got Trapghost EX and then Wellspring Master upon EX here as well. And yeah, just Palkia. I think this deck's pretty good. It's a new deck. It's not, super developed yet, I feel like, because it's new. Palkia is not new, but the other cards, the other aspects of the deck are new. So it is a cool deck, and yeah, I think it's fun. Then we have Miraidon. Miraidon is still kicking around with some new cards, notably the Stadium, giving you a bigger bench, plus Mewtwo EX, which is Lightning and is a Terra. It does have some attacks, but you can't use the attacks because the attacks are Psychic, or they use Psychic Energy. Then we have Turbo Roaring Moon. I think this is just regular Roaring Moon. Yeah. It's like, yeah, no, you got Roaring Moon, yes, right. And then, oh, that deck. We cannot see this deck. Same idea. Yeah, this is very similar. We got three Janine Secret Technique and four Professor Size Vitality. Then we have Lugia Archeops. I don't think this is playing anything new. Let me check real quick though. Looks like nothing new here. Nothing particularly crazy. We do see the Raikou V. This next list is not playing anything new. We do see the Wellspring Ogerpon, which is a card that I think is pretty fun in the deck. I mean, I don't love Lugia because of its inconsistencies early game, specifically turn 2, but I think that is a fun inclusion. And then this list, again, nothing super crazy here. Of course, you do have this staple coin flip cards as well. But then the next deck is Regidrago V-Star, fallen off quite a bit. Keep in mind, there have only been 15 tournaments, but it has fallen off, and I think this deck's pretty similar to how it was played before. Not with like really any significant changes, not any new cards. Just taking a quick look here, looks pretty normal. Dragapult, Kyurem, Giratina V-Star. You can put in Hisuian Guto V-Star. I think Northern EX is good in the deck as well, especially against Trapghost. It's like super good against Trapghost EX, but Trapghost EX is lower, actually below Snorlax. So the top 10, none of the decks are new, though Palkia V-Star is pretty, contains a lot of new cards, and the identity has shifted a lot with the new expansion, and wasn't really a deck played before that much. Like, yeah, I don't know his Palkia here. It is, oh, Palkia Dusknoir is 38 here, and then the other Palkia, there's some other Palkia decks, but yeah, Palkia was not played that much. It was played a little bit though. Speaking of Palkia Dusknoir, that is deck 20, which I'll talk about. But Snorlax here, Snorlax with control looks, I think it's pretty similar, focused around Snorlax as well as stalling elements. It's going more stall heavy with the Fighting Ogerpon and the Mimikyu. And yeah, those are not any new cards there though. And then you have this list. This looks like the same thing pretty much, if not actually the same. Yeah, so pretty similar. We do see Secret Rocks hopping in here, kind of fun. There are some new control cards, but I feel like people just haven't messed with them too much. Then we're coming to Trapghost Pidgeot. Taking a look at 3 lists here. I've talked about this deck a lot. What on earth? But there's a deck called Trapghost Dusknoir. Okay. Well, Limitless is having some issues, it appears. I kind of knew it was having some issues, but we'll skip this deck for now. And then we have Trapghost. This is like a regular build. This one is Limitless. What are you doing here? Let's see. I want to take a look at multiple Trapghost lists that are just actually Trapghost Pidgeot and without Dusknoir. Okay, well, it looks like we're able to find 2. and Trapghost EX does damage based on bench Pokemon like Palkia, like Origin Form Palkia V-Star, but then you do have tanky aspects. You have the Bouffalant giving you, or not giving you more HP, but saying you take 60 less damage, which is probably better than more HP. Then you do have Bravery Charm to give you more HP. This other list, and then you have Area Zero Underdepths and Noctowl as well, just like Palkia and some other decks. You can play Radiant Sarvina. This is a deck that or a card that I think is okay in the deck. I've been playing Trapghost a decent amount. I kind of pulled back and have been playing some other decks, but I do think Trapghost is probably my favorite deck this format. We'll see. I like some of the other decks as well, but I think Trapghost is really fun. And Radiant Sarvina could be included. It protects your bench from Dragapult EX kind of like after the fact. You know, Pokemon like Hoo-Hoo with 70 HP, Bouffalant with 100, and while it's not protecting you entirely, it is just, of course, healing you and is nice. You do have healing in the form of Penny or Professor Toast scenario or Sharon's Care as well, probably Penny, and those cards are nice. You could even play Scoop Up Cyclone for more healing, but I do think this deck is a really fun deck. Apparently, though, a lot of the Trapghost lists are actually Dusknoir lists, and Trapghost Dusknoir is a deck that I have not played yet. I have not played it with Dusknoir. Let's take a look at, oh, I can't see these lists. Okay, well, we'll take a look at these two. Wait a second. Oh, okay, no, that's not the same person. So you can see some are playing Pidgeot. I guess that's why it's under Pidgeot. So it is Trapghost Pidgeot, but it's really Trapghost Dusknoir. Dusknoir, the thing I don't like about it is that it knocks itself out, which then means it gets discarded, so they need to fill its spot on the bench. But maybe that's not that big of a deal. You do also Blood Moon Ursaluna EX here, which can attack theoretically cheaper, potentially do more damage as well, and so that's kind of cool. And then Dusknoir adding more damage because you max out at 220 or 240, even with Blood Moon Ursaluna EX here. So Dusknoir adding in another 130 is really a perfect amount here, allowing you to one-shot stage 2 EXs or Pokemon weaker than that, like V-Stars, that still have more HP than you can do damage with Trapghost EX or Blood Moon Ursaluna EX, which you can play. I personally haven't found myself really needing it, but it is a solid card in the deck. And we see just like two Bouffalants, thinner Noctowl line in this list with Pidgeot and Dusknoir, but then this list plays a 4-0-3 Dusknoir line as well as a Hoo-Hoo Noctowl line of 4-4, which is really heavy. You do see Arazoo, which is kind of cool. It's searching for 3 evolution non-rule box Pokemon, which are all your evolutions in the deck. And that's pretty fun because it adds damage in Dusknoir and a ton of powerful search with Noctowl. You could theoretically Noctowl for Arazoo and some other trainer, then get 3 more Noctowls and get just a ton of trainers, right? So that is not something you want to do, but something you can do. You don't want to do it because you don't need 8 trainers or whatever on one turn. But then you could get some Dusknoirs as well. I'm a little surprised by no Dusclops, but Dusknoir is really important for the math. Dusclops probably just isn't quite getting you there. One issue I have found with this deck specifically, I feel like you'd run into this issue more with Dusknoir, is that you run out of Pokemon. This can specifically happen if your opponent keeps bumping your stadium. The stadium says that you get extra bench Pokemon, but it can be turned off by Trapghost EX, leaving all your, Terra Pokemon, which in this deck is Trapghost EX. If they all leave, then you discard bench Pokemon, but obviously you can kind of control that. But if your opponent bumps the stadium, specifically against Lugia V-Star, I found that to be a bit of an issue, especially in my build without Dusknoir. I have not found it to be like something that's losing me games all the time, but it is a bit of an issue. And the issue is that you have the Trapghost EX is surviving hits, but then not doing as much damage because the stadium keeps getting discarded and just run out of stadiums. And some lists run 3 stadiums. A lot of the ones I saw initially ran 3, but 4 does seem to be what's played here, which makes sense. Also, I guess Featherball we should talk about. Sorry if there's any background noise. I don't know if there is, but there might be. Anyways, so Featherball here gets you a Pokemon with free retreat. In this deck, it's only Pidgeot EX, but it is nice if, say, you get Iono to a low hand, or your hand just is really good, and you don't want to Ultra Ball away any cards. And using Noctowl, you can, I was gonna say Arven, but there's no Arven. But if you use Noctowl to grab yourselves Rare Candy, then Featherball as well instead of Rare Candy Ultra Ball. I do think the 4th Ultra Ball is probably better, as we can see in this list. It's playing that, but there is value in Featherball in this deck. I just don't think it's super amazing. Like it just generally is worse than Ultra Ball, of course, because Ultra Ball can get you anything, any Pokemon, which can get essentially any card because you have Pidgeot EX and Noctowl and stuff. I also do think I've said this before. I think Colossus Tenacity is like super good in the deck. This list, yeah, here plays two, plays six supporters, two Ionos, two Colossus Tenacity, and Arizona Briere. I do feel like this deck is running a little thin on supporters. Like you need the Trap Ghost EX, and then you also need the Noctowl, and then you can get going, and then you don't really need too many supporters. Those supporters are nice to search out, but you don't need them. But in the early game, you do need to get yourself set up. And so I think Iono, like maybe 4 Iono at least, is good. Maybe some research. I do think draw supporters are nice, but anyways, that's the state of Trap Ghost right now. There is actually one other build just called Trap Ghost. I have not looked at. Oh, that list is not something we can see, but yeah, I've not looked at these. What on earth? This is Blissey EX, Darkrai V-Star, and Trap Ghost EX. Okay, so this is not Trap Ghost. This is Darkrai V-Star with Glass Trumpet. What are the other decks? Just what? Oh, okay, I did not. What's this third deck? Okay, so this is kind of what I was expecting. You got Trap Ghost EXs. You don't have Dusknoirs, and you also don't have any copies of Pidgeot EX, right? But you do have Hoot Hoot, which like prevents Crushing Hammer, which is kind of interesting. But it only has 50 HP. I'm surprised two copies of this one as opposed to just one. But anyways, you have that. You have Bouffalant. You have Trap Ghost EX. Then you have some different attackers here, which are the same types as Trap Ghost EX's second attack, Crown Opal, which does 180 and makes you immune to basic non-colorless Pokemon. And then you do have Pokemon that can use those types. Radiant Greninja can, though probably isn't. It is possible. But then you have Raikou V and you have Iron Leaves EX, which are useful in certain scenarios. And then you have Glass Trumpet as well. Glass Trumpet is pretty good against, or it's good for powering you up. And the list plays no double turbo energy, it just plays jet energy. Versus the other ones, well, not these, but the other ones have all played double turbo, the ones that are meaning to attack with it. This deck, I think I saw someone saying something about like Ho-Oh-V, I guess with the new A-Spec, the Energy Search Pro card, which is like not great. But Ho-Oh-V here does 130 more for each different type of basic energy attached to it, and you have this like ability, but essentially the idea is to Glass Trumpet, and then you can like energy switch to so you can like one-shot stuff, I guess. I don't know. This seems like kind of bad, but it seems kind of funny, so that's cool. How did this deck do it? They went 4-1. It's not bad. Then this other deck, this Darkrai V-Star, which does 30 and 30 more for each basic darkness energy attached to all your Pokemon. This Darkrai here looks like it's not. I could have missed it, but Darkrai V-Star is a deck that you could. This is like a way to play it. Wait, where is it? This. The Blissey EX is kind of interesting. It has higher HP, does like lower damage. I don't know. It's here though. Of course, you have Trap Ghost EX to attack with, but you don't even play the Stadium. Did that other list play the Stadium? This plays one copy. And then this deck you have Pekron EX, you have, as I said, Darkrai V-Star and Dark Patches, and you don't even play 4 Dark Patches, you just play 3. There's some really weird stuff going on here, but it looks kind of fun. I don't know if it looks good, but it looks fun. Then we have Iron Thorns EX is still kicking, looking like good old Iron Thorns EX, right? It's still a very good deck. Then it's solid. Then we have Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, which is pretty fun. Not the best, like based on win rate. Oh, that's pretty bad. But you have Hisuian Zoroark V-Star with a new stadium. You can get yourself a massive bench. You could play Noctowl, but I guess a lot of lists aren't. Let me just check. This one is not playing Noctowl, only playing a 2/2 Dodrio as well. So I guess, yeah, most are not playing Noctowl, but you have Dodrios who get those in play, draw a bunch of cards, and the Gengars are super good here. You can get a ton of them on your bench, and they can be your main way to get damage in play, as well as, of course, a damage pump to move the damage around. And you can just one-shot stuff. It's kind of like Palkia V-Star, but you have more power, but less consistency by a bit. And you can, of course, also attack with Trap Ghost EX. I think easier than with Palkia. Now, let me take a look at what the list is looking like. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to attack with Trap Ghost EX. It is possible, but it's actually pretty hard with this list. You only play one copy as well. But the one fun thing as well, or another fun thing is Fan Rotom. This is one of my favorite cards from the set, but this allows you to get your Doduos and Dodrios, which is kind of cool. Then we have the next deck being Ancient Box. Ancient Box, I assume, is looking pretty similar. Some lists have played like more Great Tusk, which I've been seeing all over, or before the new set came out, I was seeing all over the ladder, like quad Great Tusk, or at least multiple Great Tusks, 2 to 3 or to 4 Great Tusks playing in Ancient Box. But anyways, you do have that. It's Ancient Box, right? Then the next deck is Hydrapple Ogerpon, with also not a great win rate. Why is this win rate different than this win rate? Um, Wait, why is the record different? I don't exactly know what's going on. It probably has to, I'm not exactly sure what it has to do with. But anyways, so we have Hydrapple Ogerpon here, which is focused around Hydrapple EX doing big damage. You accelerate energies. You accelerate energies with Ogerpon. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what you're doing here. And I don't think it's the best deck. Generally, energies with decks with like tons of energies aren't great, specifically ones that are also evolutions. But it is a fun deck. I played it. It is fun. Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know if I necessarily quite call it like a meme deck, because meme deck is kind of more silly and worse generally. Meme decks don't have to be bad, but they are. They kind of do. So Hydrapple Ogerpon, though, is a deck that is fun, and one of the, I'd say, the most fun new deck out of the other new decks. Like, what is there? There's Trap Ghost. There's Galvantula. Like, Galvantula is like not that fun. Then we have Pidgeot Control here, which looks like, I've looked at a few of these lists. Let's see. This one, like, what is this? This does not look like Pidgeot Control to me. I mean, you don't have many control cards, but it's this like Luxray, Dusknoir, Slowbro, Blood Mercy Luna deck. Wait, how does Reverse Lunge work? Yeah, you can attach that to Blood Mercy Luna EX. So you got some kind of fun things here, which I don't exactly know what's going on, but this deck does look fun and kind of weird. But I would not say it's Pidgeot Control. This deck, though, is Pidgeot Control. I have tried Pidgeot Control some. I think these decks different. They are slightly different. I've tried this one. What are the differences? This one plays Comfey. This one plays Chi-Yu EX. Yeah. So I definitely think this deck is a solid deck right now. There are a lot of new cards that can go into it. This list only plays the new Comfey, which is kind of like this mill card, and it is fine. I don't know if it's better or worse than Chi-Yu EX. I'd say you could definitely go either way. I do like the Psychic Energies in the deck, though, just for Mimikyu as well. I think that's really solid. But yeah, I do think the deck is definitely a deck that is still kind of fun. I definitely like the deck. I think it's like, I think you can do some cool things with it. But Pidgeot, I mean, just Control in general, though Snorlax isn't really probably going to use these cards, but Control has a lot of new elements and things it can do. We have Venomoth Frostlass. This deck is, it's item lock. Definitely a deck I don't love playing against. Same thing with the Banette Dusknoir deck, which is item lock. It's very similar concepts. We have item lock, and behind item lock, you're setting up spread damage. Dusknoir is not exactly spread, but it's like this powerful snipe on an ability that's more targeted versus the Frostlass, which is truly a spread option. Palkia Dusknoir is a deck I've seen kicking around a little bit. It's Palkia V-Star with Dusknoir, nothing too crazy going on here. Palkia V-Star is just a solid, very self-sufficient attacker, and then Dusknoir allows you to get some extra damage, where Palkia V-Star can fall short, especially with the smaller bench size. Then we see Lost Zone with Radiant Charizard, and this appears to be the main way to play Lost Zone right now. What are we looking at here? You do see Roaring Moon EX. We do see Fezzik EX as well as the other two prizer. And, Cramorant, Sableye, Munkidori, Radiant Charizard. We do see the new Gravity Gemstone card to trap stuff in the active. I'm not, super familiar with this deck, specifically with the Munkidori, but I know it is played. And, it's a solid deck. You do have disruptive options with Team Evolution, which can take prizes, but is kind of disruptive too. You have Gravity Gemstone and Temple of Sinnoh as well, which are purely disruptive. Same thing with Spiritomb. So you have some pretty interesting cards here that's like, I feel like Lost Zone's out of the spotlight now, so people are kind of enjoying it a bit more. The people who are playing it, it's not this super meta deck that's kind of annoying. Then there's Roaring Moon. What is this deck? This is... Yeah, I don't know what this deck is, to be honest. This is Turbo Roaring Moon. This deck looks almost the same. Oh, no, never mind. I'm tired. The Roaring Moon is focused on the single prize Roaring Moon as opposed to the multi-prize Roaring Moon, but this still has a lot of, Roaring Moon EX. elements to it. And then this looks like Angel Box. Wait, no, what is this? This please give. I have not seen. This is the first time I've ever looked at a list, or that I've looked at like a play limitless list where someone's played Kyurem and it's not Regidrago. So that's pretty cool. I've seen, Regidrago is playing Kyurem, but it's not very good to counter Lost Zone. Lost Zone's just not that good of a deck right now. It's not like terrible or anything, but it's just not very played, so you don't really need it. And Colossus Tenacity is played though, but one of the decks that's played in is Trap Ghost EX, which is Terra. A lot of the decks that play it, or some are Terra. It's not like super effective against those decks. They're pretty tanky basic decks, but it's not a bad card and definitely interesting seeing it here. And you got some interesting things going on there. But and then we have Chien-Pao Excalibur. A few people are playing that, and that deck's looking like this. We see a couple of Palkias. Nothing too crazy going on here. Then we have Trapdoor Duststorm. We have Galvantula, and Galvantula is, that's not like doing super well, is it? But you do have it here. I saw this list. What are the other lists looking like? This one can actually attack with the other attack, but here we see. I closed it. We see that it's focused around this can attack with the second attack, but it's hard. It's kind of like a Miraidon deck with a few different aspects to it, but it's very much like a Miraidon EX deck where you have Garvantula EX instead of Miraidon EX, allowing you to have higher HP, more consistent damage, and this option of having this item lock attack, which can be really good, as well as Sparkling Crystal here, which can help you. You also see the single price Galvantula doing 180 it's one-shotting Charizard DX, and it can be useful in some other situations, doing 50, 80 more if it has a lightning energy attached, which it almost certainly will, especially allowing, because you can Electric Generate 2 Joltik, which also accelerates energy with its attack, and then you do 50 more to Pokemon with abilities in the active. Or if their active has an ability, you do 50 more. Then we also have Greninja here. Greninja is a deck that apparently people are playing. Not that much. I mean, this deck's been played 7 times, but you got Greninja EX Frostlass stuff. There is Charizard that's just like Charizard Giratina Lost Zone. Dragapult. What's this? Is this Dragapult Zadu? It is. Dragapult Zadu is, not the best deck in the game. Wait, where are all these decks coming from? I said there was 6 people that played it. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. I don't know exactly how Limitless works. But anyways, there you go. And then you also have the legendary Cinderace deck. Cinderace is a solid deck. I think that's the last new deck. And maybe there's something like weird down here, but that's not getting covered. So we have Cinderace here, which is actually doing, it's not doing very well either, is it? But Cinderace EX, you have this, you got Pidgeot EX, and you have Featherball, which is really good in this deck, specifically allowing you to search for free retreat Pokemon, which are Pidgeot EX. Apparently Pidgeotto, I forgot there's a free retreat Pidgeotto, so you can grab that if you want. And then you have Cinderace EX, which does a big attack or a snipe attack, which is really expensive and really hard to pay, but that is there. And this deck is fun. Sparkling Crystal is good. Crispin's solid for it. It's not something you can rely on, but it is good. But anyways, that's all for the Stellar Crown metagame. Definitely looking like a pretty interesting metagame, I feel like, with a lot of decks you can play. The top decks are very good and very powerful, but there are options as well. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below what your favorite deck is right now. But I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.